this is, I don't know. What the hell is this, folks? What the hell is this? I'm so glad that, man, oh man, we took notes and we studied that Hard Knocks tape. Our review is on our YouTube channel. If you missed that segment yesterday on the show, we broke down episode 1 of Hard Knocks. But what was not, I mean, nobody was even really talking about that yesterday when, the mainstream media, everybody really getting their kind of takes in. Everyone was kind of just talking about Dak Prescott talking about his scars and Jerry Jones putting salt on his McGriddle. That was kind of the only takeaways people were talking about. We didn't even talk about any of that. We didn't even talk about any of that in our review. But one thing that we did talk about was Dak Prescott's shoulder injury. We're done with the ankle. The ankle's old news, folks. All right? He's looking good. He's running on it. He's throwing accurately on the run. It's fantastic. The ankle is fine. That's no longer a problem with Dak Prescott. Now it's the shoulder, folks. And we listened very carefully at Hard Knocks. When we watched it, when did it come out? Sunday? When was that? What was yesterday? I don't even know the days, folks. Jeez. Yesterday was Wednesday, so it came out Tuesday. So on Tuesday, when we were watching it, we listened very closely to what the training staff was saying, the main medical doctor was saying, and they said that the Dak Prescott injury was nothing with his bicep, nothing with his tricep, and they called it a lat muscle injury. So we went to good old Google and found out what is truly a lat muscle injury and what is the timetable for him to return. So we talked about this, a grade 1 lat strain, typically requiring 2 to 3 weeks to get better, which is okay. I mean, you've got time to do that, no big deal. But then we're talking about straight grade 2 strains, usually taking at least a month, and maybe Dak Prescott misses a couple of games, a game or two. And then grade 3, which truly, hopefully, is nothing. Hopefully, Dak doesn't have, but we're going to talk about it in a second. Grade 3 strains often require surgery, however, and can come with considerably longer recovery periods. So that was kind of, what we heard from the doctor, the lat muscle injury, and then everyone was kind of just brushing it under the table. Oh, no big deal. Oh, this was nothing. This is nothing. Nobody in the media was really even talking about it. They're like, okay, yeah, this is probably a grade 1, no big deal. But then we get this. Why would you tweet this? Who is running the Cowboys Twitter? Because you made something that really wasn't being talked about, and then you just exploded up the story for no gosh dang reason. We get this, the Dallas Cowboys official Twitter, folks, says this: it's not a setback and it's not a reason to worry, but quarterback Dak Prescott is planning on getting another MRI on that shoulder. So why would you tweet this if there's no reason to worry? You're just causing the worrying yourself. You're to blame. It's like that Spider-Man meme where they're both pointing at each other. It's like, who's responsible for making this Dak Prescott injury mainstream news? And it's the Cowboys. You did it to yourself. So this is truly not good. Another MRI, and we've heard what Dak Prescott's shoulder injury was all about. It's that full extension of the arm. That's when he starts to feel it as soon as he goes and fully extends. We heard that right from Dak Prescott's mouth, folks. It's all in the Hard Knocks episode. You just got to listen closely. You find out great information by what just people say, just kind of candidly and just talking, just how normal people talk. You can learn a lot from that, and that's what we did when we were watching Hard Knocks. You can learn a lot from that. So Dak Prescott out here, maybe a little bit worse for wear, and maybe this is not a grade 1 strain. Another MRI to truly figure out what's going on with this. And another reason why this is a little cause for concern is because this injury is really not common with NFL players. It's more common with baseball players. That's why the Cowboys asked for advice from the Houston Astros, the baseball team. So maybe the Houston Astros were like, yeah, he needs another MRI because you need to be looking for this and not that. This is really what's causing it, and it could be a lot worse. So maybe we're not talking about a grade 1 strain here. Maybe we're talking about grade 2, which is at least, Google says it's at least a month, and this is coming from the MLB website, folks. The lat strain from their own website, because it is a big kind of baseball injury out here. Or if it's a grade 3 and he needs surgery, more rehab, and now we're talking about Dak Prescott, It's unfortunate. I mean, I don't even want to have these words come out of my mouth, folks, but I mean, if you go back-to-back injuries on different parts, missing 2 seasons, I mean, oof, the fight back and to get back into the good graces of just football fans, and then your team, and then the national media, and then thanks my fans, we got to rebuy into you. So I mean, that would just be awful for Dak's career, especially since he just got paid, and Jerry Jones was a little hesitant and a little reluctant to pay him early on, because that's why he never even got the deal before getting injured, and then Jerry Jones kind of felt, well, he laid it all on the line, so I guess I got to pay him now. It just looks good. It looks bad if I don't pay him, so I kind of got to pay him now, kind of forced into paying him. But now, I mean, if Dak Prescott gets injured again, I mean, then it's just everybody saying that they're right. Everybody on Twitter saying, yeah, why would you pay him after surgery or after a big injury like that? We told you, Jerry Jones, unfortunate, got what he deserved because you pay a man after injury. So it's just everybody would be saying, hey, I'm right. That's going to get a little annoying, don't you think? So we definitely don't want that to be the case. So we're hoping this is nothing good, but Dak Prescott's going to get another MRI, and this is coming straight from the freaking horse's mouth, folks. The Dallas Cowboys Twitter, just absolutely, why would you tweet this? Why? You try to have this not make the news. If somebody says, is Dak Prescott, I've heard somewhere, Dak Prescott's getting another MRI. Jerry Jones or Mike McCarthy, whoever's answering, the only acceptable answer is, oh yeah, it's nothing. It's literally just kind of what the doctors just said he had to do, because that's typical course of getting better. And then they answer the next question, or you just be like, oh yeah, I don't even know where you heard that from. I'm not aware of that. Maybe try to lie a little bit. So. You just don't go on Twitter and say it's not a setback and it's not a reason to worry, because you're literally telling everybody to worry by saying that. So Cowboys Twitter, their PR team, try to jump out in front of this, which is never a good sign. Whenever the PR team gets in front of it to try to bury a story, it's a lot worse than they are leading on, and that's kind of what it's looking like right here, folks. So maybe Dak isn't going to play week 1, and then the Cowboys would be absolutely screwed because they've got no backup quarterback. I mean, we just watched them in the preseason game. I mean, that was atrocious, folks. They put up 3 points the entire game. Absolutely pathetic. Ben DiNucci, Garrett Gilbert, Cooper Rush. I mean, these are not the guys, folks. None of these are the guys ever. So they're really screwed. They don't have that Andy Dalton to at least provide something that resembles a quarterback out there. So we're obviously going to keep a big old eye on this Cowboy situation. I mean, how can we not when we get Hard Knocks? So next Tuesday's episode should be, good job. Oh my God, I can't even wait now for episode number 2. So we'll watch episode number 2 like a hawk when it comes out on Tuesday, and pick up any other nuggets, any other breadcrumbs about this Dak Prescott shoulder injury. But another MRI? That's never great. Yeah, we need another look, because that first look, we were hoping it's not as bad as the first look, but we're gonna have to take another second look at this. Get him back under the microscope. Get him back under the camera. So not good there. All right, let's still talk about Dak Prescott, because he had a quote yesterday, and I don't know what the hell this man was thinking when he said this. All right, here we go. Dak Prescott focused on wins, not stats, by saying, quote, I don't want to throw for 6,000 yards. That means we're not running the ball. So in context of this quote, somebody asked Dak Prescott, how it felt when you were on pace to throw for 6,000 yards last season, which he was, folks. I mean, we did talk about this. I remember I don't know when. I mean, it was probably a couple months ago. But let's get up his stats again, because his stats were fantastic, and y'all know we love the 5,000 yard season here. Throwing for 5,000 yards, highly coveted. No longer, because we're in the 17 game era, so we're going to have to find that new magical number. Probably like 5,250 now, probably another 250 yards, a little bit average-ish on what these kind of quarterbacks are throwing in a game. But, it's going to take a couple of seasons to kind of get that official number under our belt. But, folks, we'll track it, and we'll have that number out to you as soon as we have that number. But in the 16-game era, that 5,000-yard coveted season, like only 10 quarterbacks have ever done it in the history of the game, and Drew Brees did it like 4 times himself. Dan Marino did it once in the 80s. Shout out to that man. I don't think Tom Brady has one. Aaron Rodgers may. Jameis Winston's got one. It's a real exclusive list right here, and that's definitely a number that we love to see. So the fact that Dak Prescott through 1,800 yards. Let's get the extrapolation up again. I know we've done this, and I forget the actual number, but we'll do it again. Why not? Always refreshing. No worries. So he threw for 1,800 yards in just 5 games. Just 5 games, folks. I mean, oh my gosh, that's just so amazing. I love that, folks. Oh man, I should get this number. This number may be on the canvas behind us next season. Just 1,800 yards in 5 games. That's all that's gonna be on the canvas behind us. That's amazing. But he was averaging 371 yards a game, folks. I can't get over that. That's just brilliant. So he missed 5 games. So that's 11 games of throwing 317 yards. So let's get that up. That number is 371 times 11 is 4,081 yards. Then you add the 1,856 to that, and we're looking at 5,937 yards, which would be the record, folks. So let's just round that up to a nice round 6,000, and now we've got this man as the greatest quarterback of all time. If you ever throw 6,000 yards in a 16 games NFL season, I will say you are the greatest quarterback to ever do it, and I don't care. I don't care if you never win a Super Bowl. I don't care if you never win another game after that. I don't care. It's just, that's what I want to see right there. So Dak Prescott, humble Dak Prescott out here saying, quote, "I don't want to throw for 6,000 yards. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Are you actually out of your goddamn mind if you ever throw for 6,000 yards, even in 17 game season? I mean, if you throw for 6,000 yards, that's still going to be real gosh damn good, folks. Like, we will still respect that 6,000, even if it is in 17 games. But Dak, come on. What are you smoking, man? I don't want to throw for 6,000 because that means we're not running the ball. Screw running the ball. You just put up 6K through the air. That's definitely resulting into a playoff spot. Don't, Dak. Stop being humble. Stop the humbleness a little bit. Go out and say, yeah, I almost did that. Yeah, I would have fucking done that. You better believe I would have thrown for 6,000. I would have actually gone for 6,200, but I'll settle on your low number of 6,000 yards for the last season if I didn't gosh dang get injured. Screw the running game. I do this. Y'all don't think I deserved all that money, but you're talking about me potentially throwing for 6,000 yards? And you don't want Jerry Jones to give me a big old deal? Psh. I do this. Me, number 4, baby, Dak. Dak's back, Dak attack, Dak 6,000 yards, baby. So, Dak, please, stop being humble. Say, yeah, I would have loved to throw for 6,000 yards. Because everybody would, folks. Nobody's ever done it. You don't want to ever do it? You don't want to be the only guy to ever do it, the first to ever do it? Because it would affect the running game? Stop it, Dak. Come on. I love the running game, folks. Don't get me wrong, but I'm taking 6,000 yards over a good running attack. Unless it's Derrick Henry breaking the single-season rushing record. Then it's Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, you don't throw for 6,000 yards. But Dak Prescott, yes, sir. You take that. You take that if you got that opportunity. Let's go to this article really quickly. Just to see how humble Dak is. The humble Dak. Oh, man, I just want to throw for 100 yards and just have the running game do it all. Stop it. Stop it. All right, let's see what we get here. And this is going to be interesting to see if they put this on Hard Knocks. We'll see. Once again, got to love it. The behind-the-scenes look. All right. Actually, a lot of quotes here. Interesting. We'll see if we read all these. Let's see what we get here. All right. Here we go. Reading the lead up to the first quote, but don't confuse a desire to play with a goal of completely owning the show for the Cowboys. Prescott isn't out to reset passing records. You gosh dang should be, honestly. Come on, why are we not breaking records out here? I want to see records broken. Screw a team game. Okay, it's a team game. I'm part of the team. I'm part of the team. So if I throw 6,000 yards, y'all should be excited for me because I'm on your team. Stop with this. Oh, we got to evenly spread the ball. I don't want to hear it. Throw for 6. Folks, the first person that throws for 6,000 yards, you better believe they're getting a canvas behind us, folks, and that's going to be a potential permanent spot. I don't know if I'll ever take that down. So, Dak, you're telling me you don't want to have a permanent spot behind us on the wall? Come on. I'm not buying it. Let's get back to this. Prescott isn't out to reset passing records. He's out to stack victories and chase the title. You can do both. You can do both. Quote, I don't want to throw for 6,000 yards, to be honest with you. That means we're not running the ball. That means we're probably not doing the things that we need to do to be a balanced winning team. That's overrated. That's overrated. You see what rushing gets you? It gets you 3,000 rushing yards and you bounce in the second round of the playoffs. The Ravens just did it. Be the Patty Mahomes. Be the Aaron Rodgers. Did you just see Aaron Rodgers last season? MVP? Close to, oh no, he only had like 4,500 yards, but 70% completion percentage? I mean, I got to the NFC Championship game. Come on, be like that. Back to the quote. Sure, it'd be great to have those numbers and to break that or have that record or whatever it is, but that's not something I put into my head. Okay, I'm not believing it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. If somebody said, hey, you want 6,000 yards and you say no, I don't know. I don't know about you. I don't know. Another quote here, quote, as I say, I want to be the best offense in the NFL, and I think the best way we can do that is if I'm not throwing that many yards or our run game is working, we're playing complementary football and we're winning a lot of games. And I think that's the case. Then hopefully I'm not playing as many fourth quarters trying to come back and do the 2-minute drill as we were doing in those first 5 games that got me a lot of those numbers. And he is true on that, folks. He is true. I will give Dak Prescott, smart old Dak Prescott. I get it, folks. I get it. I mean, they started 2-3, folks, throwing 1,800 yards, so it doesn't result in the wins, and that is true. But I mean, that's basically the defense. You know what I mean? That's not, you not rushing the ball effectively. That's just your defense being absolute garbage, absolute garbage. And folks, I mean, they were giving up 20, 39, 38, 49, 34 points the first 5 weeks, folks. I think that may be the most points given up in the first 5 weeks in NFL history. I think that's real solid, at least top 5 right there. So yeah, it's the defense being absolute garbo, folks. All right, so humble Dak Prescott. All right, I'll give him it. What else do we get to here? Another quote. Let's read the lead up quickly here. We know Prescott values wins over numbers, but if we were to play at a clip similar to where he was before his injury, it would be difficult not to give him the comeback player of the year award. Just don't ask him about it. Quote, that's not something I think about, honestly. It's not something he thinks about because he may have to kind of be comeback player of the year because he may not be playing this year. So that's why he doesn't think about it. Quote, that's not something I think about, honestly. I want to be the best quarterback and a winning quarterback for this team. There's so many other team goals and team awards. Once again, humble Dak Prescott. I like it, but that's not what I want to hear. Y'all know I want to hear the villainous side, the selfish side a little bit more. Not all the time, but a solid number. I don't want to hear all this. Hey, I'm here for the team. I'm here for the running game. I'm here for the team. Team. Okay. Can we all just try to be great ourselves and, stunt on people? I'm all about stunting, folks. Can we stunt on people? Gosh dang. Drew Brees stunted on everybody by throwing multiple 5,000-yard season. And that's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that, folks. Let's continue on with the quote here. There's so many other team goals and team awards that I put well ahead of any individual award that I could receive. Not to only mention, there's so many guys that were injured, not only just with our team, but in this league that whoever gets that, I mean, that'll be special. That'll be great for them. But I don't think anybody necessarily hurt. Actually, I don't want to speak for them, but is shooting for that, I guess. I want to be the best player I can be, and if that comes with it, then oh well. So, Dak Prescott, humble as always, and remember, folks, what does Tom Brady say? 90% of the things I say to the media are not what I'm thinking. I think this is kind of one of that 90% times where they're kind of just giving that boilerplate, what you have to say, standard answer in the eyes of the media. I think Dak Prescott, if he said, if I throw for 6,000 yards, then Jerry Jones has to pay me the Patty Mahomes money. No. Come on, folks. Come on. So, that's where we're at with Dak Prescott. May not even play this year, but if he does, don't expect him to throw 6,000 yards because it gets in the way of the running attack. Psh.